Hey everyone, Cash here, back with another video from Madden 15. Today we continue Trey Cash's career, shortly no longer with the New Orleans Saints. We are going to be moving on to the offseason here. We won the Super Bowl in the last video. If you did not see that episode, go back, give it a watch. It's a very good one, but for this one, we are moving on here. We're going to request our release with the Saints. If you haven't seen the last couple of videos, actually, just to bring you up to speed, we're going to play one more season in this one. We're going to cram a whole season into the last month until the new Madden game comes out. So we're going to be doing this with a new team. We've requested our release, and now we will move forward. And here we are, stage 2 of the offseason. We have some contract offers, and we have a bunch. So let's take a look. Steelers, Titans, Packers. That's not a bad offer. The Lions coming in there, the Bills, the Rams, and as you see, you can see the years and the amounts for these. Not really mattering there since we're only going to play 1 year. But Seahawks, that's not bad. We'll have to see who's on their team. Falcons, Colts, Jaguars, our old school Jaguars that we played our franchise with a couple years ago. Bears, Cowboys, Giants. And then let's see who else. Jeff Fisher coaching the Cowboys. Cowboys, not a bad option there. That's a pretty interesting team to play for. Raiders, Panthers, Patriots. We saw those the last time we were in free agency. Bengals and Chargers. So a lot of teams out there. Let's take a look at some of these lineups. Giovanni Bernard playing for the Bengals, so they're kind of out. The Bills have E.J. Manuel. No halfbacks. Chargers have C.J. Spiller, so probably not the Chargers. Cowboys have Des Bryant there up top, but they still have DeMarco Murray, so the Cowboys no longer an option there. Patriots have Jimmy Garoppolo. He's the quarterback after Tom Brady has retired. And then they don't actually have a super good running back. Charlie Bray is a second-year player, but he's an option. Seattle, sorry to see Marshawn Lynch sitting there at 91 overall. They're definitely not going to be an option. That would have been a cool team to play for. And then the Steelers, no running back, no real QB, so they're an interesting pick as well. And now we'll advance, see if we get any more offers, and take a closer look at some of these teams. The Bills have a pretty decent line, although there's a 68-72, but a pretty solid offensive line for what some of the teams have to offer. Colts, similar as well, though they do not have a center right guard, or, well, they do have a right tackle. The Patriots have a good offensive line. Jeremy Zuta there in the middle, and then some 70s. They have the 99 at left tackle. The Rams, a good offensive line. Eric Wood, 81, but they do not have a right guard or a right tackle either. And then the Steelers, probably the best line that we're going to look at here, but their lack of quarterback kind of worries me, so I'm not sure if they're actually a viable option. Here we're going to advance, see if any of these teams pick up any more free agents. Mike Glennon does get signed by the Patriots. The Patriots have signed a couple running backs, so they actually are pretty heavy at running back now. So let's take a look at the standings here. The Steelers went 7-9. They are in that division with the Browns and the Ravens. The Colts, probably the easiest division. They're in the AFC South with the Texans and Jaguars, so that might not be that bad if we want to look to make another run at the playoffs. And then we have the Bills. They're sitting in division with the Patriots, and then the Jets and Dolphins, and then the Rams. This was a team that I had some interest in, but after thinking about it, 49ers, Seahawks in that division, not the best option. So we're going to go back through here, looking at the Bills' defense. They have a pretty good defense, I must say. Obviously, we don't get to play any of the defense. That gets simulated, so having a good defense is very important. The Saints had a very good defense last year. That was a big reason for our success. And then you see the Colts here. Wes Welker at wide receiver. Not quite the same kind of offensive firepower as the Bills, but then you take a look at their defense, not quite as strong either. They do have Jason Pierre-Paul there on the line, Terrell Suggs, Daniel Ellerbe, Vontae Davis at 97 overall, very solid there at corner, but compared to the Bills, not quite as strong. And then the Patriots, Terrence Cody at D-tackle. They have at middle linebacker, Gerard Mayo, 94, Dante Hightower, Darrell Revis, the 99 overall, as well as Prince Amukanara, Louis Delmas. So actually pretty solid defense there from the Patriots, but that heavy running back position might scare us off. And then the Rams, as I said, a team that really interested me, but going to turn out that just not going to work with that division. So the last thing I'm going to look at is the picks. The Bills, 2 firsts, 2 seconds, 2 thirds, 2 fourths, 3 fifths, and a 6. Unbelievable selections there. The Colts have 2 firsts as well, 6 and 9, but then they have a 1, 2, no 3s and 2 4s, and then the Rams have 2 firsts as well. But as I said, again, the Rams are going to lose out on this one. So taking everything into consideration, when we look at the rosters, the current quarterbacks, the offensive line, how good the defense is, the picks that they're going to have, how good they might be, it really came down to the Colts and the Buffalo Bills. Those are the two teams that I found to be the best options. There was obviously the Packers, the Lions, but I wanted to get out of the NFC North because we've already been there with that Lions franchise we have going. So ultimately, I'm going to end up going with the Buffalo Bills. And I don't know, some of you might like it, probably some of you might not like it. The Bills, they're not very good, but I think this roster has a lot of potential, and especially is set up for Trey to have a very good year. They have E.J. Manuel, but beyond that, Trey is going to be the #1 option in that offense, and that is kind of what we were looking for. So moving on to the draft, we have 2 first-rounders. They're actually back-to-back here. The first one's going to be Trey Smith, a defensive end, and then Juan Timmons, a wide receiver. So that is very good in those first 2 picks. Second round, we go to an outside linebacker, and that's going to be followed up with a cornerback. So another 2 very good picks here. Now the third round, we're going to trade this pick to the Dolphins. So our second pick is going to be a halfback. So interesting, we take a halfback in the third round. Interesting considering they just signed Trey. We take a right tackle in the 4th round. Second pick in the 4th round will be a tight end. So we're spreading it around here. A lot of different selections. Left tackle here in the 5th round. And then we will simulate through our second 5th rounder will be a middle linebacker. So we have not doubled up any position yet. And then this one, first double up there is going to be another left outside linebacker. So that will be it for the draft. Let's take a look at our signings, and we'll see how good they are. We're looking at Smith and Timmons there at the top. Smith is going to be an 80, Timmons an 80 as well, so very good in the first round. A 74 linebacker, 70 corner. The halfback was only a 67, and then you see nothing really too good. A 69 left tackle there later in the draft, but very good draft from the Bills, I would say. But now we're going to move on to the preseason. We're going to fly through this. I'm going to show you the major highlights of the preseason. You see Trey, #1 halfback, no one really even close. Harris there, a 77. Holmes, the rookie, 67. 4th on the depth chart. But here, our first preseason game against the Cowboys, you see Trey, his first action in a Buffalo Bills uniform, and he's going to go 8 yards on his first carry. Now we move ahead here later in the drive as Trey only going to be playing in the first quarter in all 4 of these games. They immediately take him out the second it hits the second quarter, so we don't have a lot of time to work. And here, Trey, his first big run as a Buffalo Bill, and it's going to go the distance. Trey Cash making his presence known quickly here in Buffalo. Sadly, we're going to end up losing the game. We lose that one 20-17. We now move on to week 2 as Trey getting back at it here. This one going to run out of bounds as he has 17 carries in this first quarter. But this is going to be his last play, 3rd and 1, still a scoreless game. E.J. Manuel, the halfback screen. Trey's going to catch this one, and he's going to try and stutter step. Gets taken out of bounds at the 37, so that will do it for us there. And in this one, we get pounded 38-17 by Bortles and the Jaguars. So now on to game number 3, back at home. We're taking on the Seahawks, and Trey on 2nd and 8 going to just bowl over that defender there for a first down, but now 3rd and 14 from the 49. Trey goes out, Manuel looking for it, but the pass off the mark. That's one thing we got to worry about with Manuel as his accuracy, but we are going to win that one 10-7. Now we look at the cuts that are going to be made prior to the last game. Thomas DeCoud, a semi-surprise cut. Dom Holmes, the rookie running back, gets cut. Central Henderson is going to be cut as well. So a couple notable names there, but nothing too surprising. So here we go, last game of the preseason, and look at this. We're playing our former team, the New Orleans Saints. Trey, a little bit of extra juice on this one as he's got 20 yards on 2 carries so far, but here nearing the end of the first quarter, Trey looking for the end zone, and he's going to get just short. It's dropped at the 1, but 1st and goal. We're going to cap this drive off. So Trey with a score here. We score in the first preseason game. We score in the last one. And most importantly, we pick up a win over our former team, 24-8. So you take a look at Trey's stats, 23 for 143, 2 touchdowns for him there, 6.2 yards average. And then we have 4 receptions for 45 yards, 11.3. No touchdowns there. So that is the preseason. I know we flew through that one, but Trey didn't really get a lot of playing time. We only played the first quarter, and that really equates to, in most of the games, just 1 series. So we go through that preseason. We now are going to begin season 4 of our career with Trey Cash. New team. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of the Bills selection. I'm sure it's going to surprise a few of you. I would have wished that we would have had some other options for teams. Some of those, I mean, obviously we never were going to go with, but some of them, like the Packers or Lions, actually would have been viable options if we didn't have a Lions connected franchise going already. We're so familiar with playing in the NFC North. I didn't want to go with either of those teams, even though they would have been very good options because the Lions team was very good. I took a look at them as well as the Packers. They still had Aaron Rodgers. So unfortunate that that goes that way, but I think the Bills are going to be a good team. We'll see how this season goes. We're going to fly through it. We'll see if Trey can get that coveted MVP trophy that he has missed out on in the last couple seasons, and we'll see if Trey can win a back-to-back Super Bowl, as we'll see if he's the reason maybe the Saints won it, if he can take the Bills to a Super Bowl as well. So that is going to be it for this one. You'll see week 1 and 2 in the next video. Otherwise, if you enjoyed it, please go ahead and give it a like. I really appreciate it. And subscribe to see any future videos that I make. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.